So tonight we're talking about the fact that conservatives are spending way too much time trying to flip far-left Democrat-held congressional seats. This was something that I saw a lot in 2018, and it was very upsetting. I would watch these candidates who are not going to win, who are fighting in districts that it's like 89% Democrat and 19% Republican. And they would be the ones on conservative alternative media. They would be the ones being promoted. I guess maybe because they would talk to conservative media, but maybe I think a lot of it was just a lot of hope that we could flip these seats. Here is the truth. For 2020, that's not going to happen. If you are a conservative, you will have no doubtedly seen the fact that AOC has a challenger to her 14th congressional seat in 2020. A lovely woman. I'm sure she'd do a great job if elected. I wish she could be elected. But the truth is, she's not going to be elected. And this is something that I think upsets a lot of conservatives. They're upset by that. They don't think it's fair for me to say. They think it's that she's just going to win and that all of this extra Republican enthusiasm will carry her over the threshold. If that is what you were thinking, allow me to tell you something. In 2016, Joe Crowley, who AOC defeated in the primaries, was up for re-election in 2016. He beat his Democrat challenger 82.9% to 17.1%. It is not possible to win that district as a Republican. This is not my opinion. This is just the truth. And now, in this very toxic political climate, no Republican is going to be able to get away with not talking about Trump in a negative way if they want to win that seat, which would then kneecap them because any Republican support would evaporate because they're not supporting Trump. This is just the truth. We lost 40 congressional seats last time. 40 congressional seats that did not need to be lost. And yet we're not focusing really on retrieving those. Just for an instance, in Florida's 26th congressional seat, Carlos Curbelo lost his seat 49 to 51%. That is winnable. We can take that back. Virginia's 2nd district, Rep. Taylor lost his seat 51 to 49%. We can flip that back. If you want to focus on New York's 11th district, Dan Donovan lost his seat 51 to 49%. That's definitely winnable again. Texas's 7th district, and Texas is so important because of all the efforts to turn it blue. Culberson lost by 50%, 50 to 50. That's how close it was. That is a race that should be getting as much spotlight as AOC's challenger is getting on Hannity. She was on Hannity for like 7 minutes. Imagine if Culberson from Texas's 7th district was on Hannity for 7 minutes. Imagine how much energy that would give his campaign or the person running in his spot. Not to mention the fact that we have a Democrat representing Alabama in the Senate. This is a huge problem. And yet, again, I'm watching the same thing happen in 2020 already. We're focusing all of our effort on covering these challenges to these far left seats. It's not going to happen. I know a lot of conservatives think with all this conservative energy, we're totally going to take them down. But if we have energy, why wouldn't the other side have energy in these stronghold seats? Why wouldn't the other side be prepared to take down any challenger? It's the same thing. It's like how we think celebrities don't matter when they're from the left, but we think that they'll matter when we're from the right. It's the same sort of thing. I think overall, if you're somebody who is in media, if you're a strategist, if you're someone donating, it's so much better to donate to the re-election efforts in Virginia's 2nd congressional district, or Florida's 26th congressional district, or if you want to focus on New York, if that's your thing, if that's who you are, New York's 11th congressional district. That is where the focus and the energy needs to be, and I don't want to see a replay of what I saw in 2018, at least in the digital space, of conservatives forgetting that there are all these little seats with these guys that don't have name brand recognition outside of their district who need your help. Because at the end of the day, AOC, unless she's taken out by a Democrat in the primary, which is a huge possibility, we're completely dismissing that. Crowley has a whole plan in the backdrop going on. He's endorsed a challenger already. Unless that happens, she's coming back to Congress. And I would much rather she came back to Congress and had to deal with a Republican-held Congress. I would rather that happened. I would rather Omar had to come back to Congress and deal with a Republican-held Congress and be held accountable and have to sit there while massive legislation is passed, while massive protections for this country are put in place. That's the goal, after all. Not knocking down these people because we hate them. I'm not a fan of any of these people, but I understand that I'd rather they had to sit there being the crazy people they are and watch a Republican-held Congress do the job, which is to protect and serve the American people. Thanks, guys.